This way we are going to see third experiment in C Sharp, that is operator overloading. So we will be solving some questions and to implement this concept called operator overloading. So the first question is to perform complex operations on two complex numbers. So here we have a class called complex, and we'll start from the main function below. So this is a complex operation we are going to perform. This is a plus, minus, and arithmetic operations and relation operators like greater than and less than. And we'll start from the main function. So we are reading the input from the user, like real and imaginary parts of both complex numbers. We'll be getting 4 values just like here, and after that we have an infinite loop. We have an infinite loop here, and these are the functionalities given to the user: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and like comparison and casting as well. And once the user enters his choice, we'll be showing that name and we'll be having a switch case. And before that, we are creating two complex objects, C1 and C2, with passing the real one and imaginary one, real part and imaginary part of the first complex number into this object, and this object is the real and imaginary part of the second complex numbers. And finally we have another complex number C3, which normally used to store the result. And so once you create the object for this class, complex class, here's the constructor. So these real and imaginary parts get set, and that's it. And after that, if you actually add two objects, then we need to define our own logic for this plus operator. So that is the concept of operator overloading. So if you do some operations just like this, complex addition, then plus operator has been overloaded here using the syntax public static. This is the return type of this function, again a complex number, and this is the operator keyword and the plus operator, which has to be overloaded. This takes two complex numbers as input, and here I have instantiated another another object for the complex class with inputs 0 and 0. So this will be acting as a resultant variable which will hold the result of these two result of the operation. Like we'll be adding the real parts of the two complex numbers and storing in the real part of the complex number 3, and imaginary part of the complex number 3 will be storing the imaginary part of the two complex numbers added, and we'll be returning that complex number C3. So if you just directly return that object, we cannot directly print that object, right? So we need to have a method called toString that has to be overridden. Like the return type of this method is string. So if imagine is greater than 0, then only then we'll be having a plus symbol here. If the imaginary part is less than 0, the number itself will contain a symbol like minus, so we'll not have to include a plus symbol here. So that is the condition here. In any of these cases, we'll be returning a string type data. So the return type of this one is string. So once you return the values, the values will be returned to here, and the result will be stored in C3. So they will printing the result as C3. And same is the case with all the operations. And we come to the relational operators. If you have to check if the complex number is greater than the complex number, we can just use C1 greater than C2, and greater than symbol is already overloaded here. So if the real part of the first one is greater than the real part of the second one, and imaginary part of the first one is also greater than the imaginary part of the second one, then they will return C1 is greater than, and otherwise we will return C2 is greater. So once you overload greater than symbol, we will definitely have to overload the less than symbol as well. So this is the case here. And coming to typecasting, and here we are dividing the real part of the complex number by the imaginary part of the complex number and storing it in T. That is nothing but the typecasting of a complex number. Fine, that's it. Now we'll run this and check for the output. The real part of the first complex number 2, imaginary is 3, real part of the second complex number 5, imaginary let it be 1. Now if I perform complex addition, here it is 7 plus 4i, complex subtraction, complex multiplication, complex division, complex like 7 is the comparison, C2 is greater, and if I have to cast, I'll press 6, and 7 is to exit from the loop. And this is the complex operations using operator overloading. Now coming to the second question, we'll be adding the currency. We'll be having the inputs like in rupee and pice, and we'll be adding that currency object with another currency object that again has properties like rupee and pice. And we have a class called currency, and similarly we have read the input from the user like 4 values and created 2 objects, currency objects with the class CUR1, and CUR2, and these are the operations given to the user: currency addition, subtraction, etc. This is again an infinite loop, and fine. So based on the user input, we are calling the we are actually performing the addition between these two objects, and that the display symbol is overloaded over here. So this is again an empty, like an object with empty values 0 and 0, that will store the result of both these, result of the operation C1 rupees plus C2 rupees and C1 pies plus C2 pies, that will be stored in this two attributes of this CR3 object. And the same is the case for this minus operator as well. And once you return the object, we cannot directly print that, so we have a method called toString that has been overridden here. If pice is greater than 100, so that must be converted into a rupee value, right? So we are incrementing rupee by pice divided by 100 value. So the remaining value, that is pice modulus 100, will be stored in pice as such. So we are returning a string data again here using this string return type. Fine. So now we'll run this and check for the output. Rupee value, for example, 12 rupees, pice 30 pice, enter rupee value of currency to 4 rupees and 25 pice. You can see currency addition, then we'll be having 16 rupees and 55 pice. Currency subtraction is 8 rupees and 5 pice, and if you press 3, the loop will be terminated. So this is about the operator overloading in C#. Thanks for watching.